It is Saturday, Valentine's Day, no less, 2026. We're going to take a look at gold, silver, and the miners, but not in that order. Let's begin. Remember, we're halfway through the month now, so I guess officially we have what, nine? Yeah, 9 trading days left of the month. So keep that in mind. So, as things are, one of the key sector leaders, Agnico Eagle Mines, up 13.7%. That's a that's a solid gain. I mean, there's nothing bearish there, right? That's just very strong. And we're not far off the January historic high. Absolutely bullish. I guess if you're cautious, you'll have a stop around the 10 or the recent low, 190-ish, or maybe even halfway, 200. First Majestic Silver, 10.2%. I mean, look at that. I mean, you can argue, look, February candle, a little bit spiky, but it ain't bearish, is it? I mean, look at that. Look at that. Fours, the breakout, 27. I mean, that's a new historic high there. I mean, look how many, look at 5 years to take out that high from 21. Anyway, onwards. Anglo Gold Ashanti, another one, 18.2%. Hell of a run, right? Just, I mean, you can argue, yep, it's overbought, 90, but are you supposed to be bearish? Nope. Barrick Mining, one of the top, arguably one of the top twos. I think it's one of the top two components of GDX. I haven't looked recently, but it used to be for a long time. Barrick Gold, not as great. Still at 4.6%. I mean, look, there's something bearish there, right? You can't, I mean, even if we would have settled net lower this month, right? I mean, wake me up unless we're under 33. This is midterm super bullish. Core mining, much the same. 9.7% so far this month. Nothing bearish there. I mean, natural target would be 34, 35. DRD gold, 12%. Bullish. Endeavor silver, a little bit less, 7.5%, but again, you get the occasional down month, but broadly bullish. Franco Nevada, 7.6%. Not many people care about this one, but again, look at the solid support, Taname. Goldfields, 8.9%. Again, you can argue candle's a little bit spiky. 84 RSI, we're overbought, but I mean, you want to somehow turn midterm bearish? Nope, can't be that. Heckler. Heckler is struggling. It's only at point 0.4, 2260 having dropped almost, I mean, basically 30, 37, 38% from the high. But again, even this one, there's nothing bearish there. You could argue, it could just trade sideways for a couple of months and still be bullish. I mean, yeah. I think earnings are out Tuesday after hours. So they'll merit attention. It will be interesting to see how much money has this company been making in Q4. Harmony Gold, a lot more choppy than other stocks. You get little pullbacks. Of course, what was that there? Bull flag, bull flag. You could even argue this is some kind of F flag, but whatever. 73 RSI overbought. But hey, you want to get bearish? I mean, going bearish here wasn't great. Going bearish here wasn't great. And that was almost just a little breakout above resistance, sideways chop, and off we go again. You got to be bullish, the miners. Ken Ross Gold, solid gains, 9%. RSI 90. Newmont earnings are this Thursday after hours. Very strong gains, 12%. 125. I mean, the only issue now is, do we take out 134 in the near term? Clearly, it's not far up. RSI 85 overbought, but zero sign of a turn. Pan American Silver 6.1% on the month so far. Again, January candle, pretty spiky. You could argue maybe we're going to have a little bit of consolidation. If the main market, of course, drops off, that will be an issue. But for now, bullish. This one has earnings sometime this week. I forget when. Royal Gold, 8%. Not many people got to care about this one. But look at it. Bullish. SSR mining, 23.1%. Wow. That's impressive. What have I been saying for the last couple of months? What is this? You know what that is, right? You know what that is. That's a bull flag. And it's playing out. It's bullish. I mean, look at it. 220, what's that? 370. It's up almost, 900%? Wheat and precious metals. Solid gains, 10.6%. I mean, you can argue for all of these stocks. The January candle was very spiky. And maybe we're going to get stuck again and maybe pull back, especially if the main market turns down into March and across April. Let's skip to GDX. So yeah, as a sector as a whole, halfway through the month, 10.3%. RSI 87, nothing bearish there, right? I mean, look at it. $20, 43 in summer of 22. Up by a factor of over 400%. 400%. Again, look at this. This is why charts can be, especially on a bigger perspective, right? Look at that. This big threshold goes all the way back to when GDX started in 2007. And look at that candle. See, that's it's obvious, right? It's a breakout candle. Look at the next month, powering upwards. There was a little bit of consolidation, and then it's just resuming upwards again. I mean, does anyone seriously think this is ever going to be back under there again? I mean, ever? All these years of chop, it's never going to go under there again, right? Ever. I mean, sure, you could come back down to, say, the 10 MA, which will be in March, April. That's going to be around, what, 85, 80-ish? So you could drop 20% without any problems at all. 20%. And it doesn't do any, it would only count as just a retrace. I think the next one is juniors. Again, not many people care about this one, but there's your breakout candle. Almost 10% on the month. All right, so the more important thing that people will be interested in will be the gold and silver itself. So, what do we start with? Let's start with gold on a daily. Look, Friday had a strong day. I mean, this is bizarre, right? I mean, you just think this is a 1 day change, a 1 day change, $119 in a day, 5,041. You can argue this is a bull flag, but I'm a little suspect of it. Daily cycle's low. All right, next one. Weekly. Weekly, we're up 1.5% on the week. I mean, look at that. On a MACD cycle, we're on the high end. I mean, there's no question about it. We're on the high end. I mean, if this was kind of the place to be buying, right? November, December, January, and then bam, and now we're on the high end again. And well, we generally, I mean, the most bullish case would be that we just kind of cycle down, and all that gold does is just churn out another giant bullish pennant. Like, well, I mean, there's one there, there's one there, there's one there. You could even argue there's another one kind of there, but we're on the high end. That's a short-term concern. There's some perspective. Gold on a monthly candle chart. So for the month so far, we're up $154, 3.2%. The February candle has actually got a nice floor spike, which is quite bullish. Again, you can say, hey, look, RSI is crazy. I mean, 95? That's wild. I mean, that there makes the 2020 move just look like nothing. And again, this is another good example that we've basically been overbought in gold on a monthly now for almost 2 years. So you could have turned bearish. You could have said, "Hey, look, we're overbought gold," when it was 24.50, and you would have been right to say that. But just because something is overbought or oversold doesn't mean the trend has to change. And right now, 10 MA, 4K. I mean, does anyone really think we're going to be back to 4K? It's possible, but I'm guessing no. Silver. Start with silver on a daily. So silver officially on Friday was up 203, 2.7%. You see the structure relative to gold is a lot weaker. Gold is equivalent. Gold equivalent is about up here. So we're 77.19 officially, having crashed. I will again. The crash word gets used way too often. But yeah, 121 to 63. That's a crash wave. Big bounce to 86s on Wednesday. I bailed at the open on Wednesday. Managed to escape another big drop of like 10, 11% on Thursday. Friday, I mean, look at Friday. Friday's bounce looks trivial. The ultimate question it should be is, are we going to backtest the old breakout threshold, which is roughly where the 200-day is, around 50? And I've marked that threshold on the weekly chart, which also intersects with a bullish pennant from October, November. And this, this should spook people out. That's a bearish engulfing candle that played out last week, and this week was a little bit weak. And we technically on the week we were down 1%, which isn't much. But here, look at the MACD on this. This is a problem. Next week is threatening a problem. In the previous cycles, we bounced. We bounced again there. And of course, that was just consolidation before we started to really power up. But it's like, do we floor here around the zero threshold, or do we just go massively down for a couple of weeks and then backtest $50 ish? Again, maybe 54, somewhere in 54 to 50. That's the most bearish outlook right now. And that might sound crazy, but it's not, because look, we printed 63 a week ago. So, of course, that was an overnight low. People don't even realize that. Most people think silver hasn't really gone much below 75 or so. It's like, no, 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 no. We did print 63s. That does count, in my view. But yeah, this is not good. This is short-term bearish. Now, if we look at silver on a, actually we'll actually look at SLV on a 15. This is a very tiny time frame. But look, I'm looking at this, thinking about my trades this week. I was long there. I was long somewhere around here, and I bailed out of two positions about there, 76 and a half. So again, I even spoke about this on Tuesday, and then in terms of maybe we'll get a black candle at the open, in which case I'll run for my life, which I did. I sat back for the rest of the day thinking, "You can't be bullish that." And then the next day, opened weak, chops around, and then of course, then there's a smackdown when the main market breaks down. I mean, this is horrific. This drop here, and even then, even you see it tried to bounce, it kept breaking down again, ended badly. And look at Friday's candle. Friday's opening candle was a big black candle, and even though we then consolidated, the end of the day wasn't great. I mean, you could argue that, but that's spurious. This isn't good. Look at a 60-minute chart. Black candle. I mean, you could argue this is a bull flag, maybe. Maybe. I mean, technically it is, but I don't trust it. I don't trust it at all because when I look on a daily chart, I'll use a slightly closer version. Look at this. This is what really concerns me for next Tuesday. We have another black candle. No, but you can barely see it there, but that is a black candle on Wednesday. So black candle on Wednesday, smack down 11% on Thursday. Friday was up, but that's a black candle. I mean, in theory, Tuesday is going to be, I don't know, somewhere down, maybe 67s. And, if we take out the 65s, then what then? I mean, lower Bollinger, 57s. And hell, if we're down here, then it's not long until we get down to 49, 48 area, which, that's a full retrace of back to the October, November churn, which of course was a big bullish pennant. But yeah, that candle there is bearish for Tuesday. So that's one reason why I am not holding anything across the weekend, especially a 3-day weekend. And I'm guessing in theory we should be down on Tuesday. If we open up, I would still look for downside because that candle, these black candles usually play out. Yeah, look at them. There was a warning there, there was a warning there, and smash. 16% down on that black candle. 11% down on that black candle. We have another one. So what's Tuesday going to be? Another 5? I don't know. Nobody knows, but the candle itself is telling you that's a problem for Tuesday. So to be quite clear, and reading around, there's people talking about the fact that China market is now closed until February 24th. It's closed for 6 trading days, not 5, 6. So all of next week and including Monday the 23rd. So 24th, which is also interestingly State of the Union speech by Trump. So 24th will be an interesting day. China market will come back online, and in the meantime, there's talk that maybe some of the London and New York COMEXs will be able to want to get silver down whilst China is closed. It's possible, but even if that isn't the case, that's a bearish candle. Again, to be quite clear, midterm still bullish. I think we are going to take out 109s, but if you assume the main market's got to break lower into March and April, then in theory, silver's going to get ground down towards 50, or SLV will get ground down towards 50. And yeah, interesting note, SLV 69s and commodity silver 77. So roughly $8 disparity. Again, I wouldn't get too fixated on that differential, but yeah. And my concern is if you're bearish, if you're again, look at this. I wasn't going to highlight this, but this is an issue. The market is stuck. It's a quite, you can argue, or you can suggest that maybe we have what we have right now is what happened in early 25. I mean, what's March going to be? Are we going to see a March candle breaking through the 10 MA and then coming down to the support around there? And if that's the case, there's no way that silver's going to be going up because equities will drag down silver. That's how it is. And this is the ultimate thing in terms of, in my view, technicals. Monthly momentum has been weakening for a couple of months now. It might turn negative in March, but far more likely early April. Kind of similar. In terms of seasonal setups, it's interesting in itself. But yeah, reason I'm highlighting this, if you're bearish equities, you got to be bearish silver. Uh, Gold would hold up to a better extent, of course. That's just how it is. So that's my concern. As someone who wants to buy back silver, having held it this week, um, I'm concerned about that. Anyway, well, we should end on a. Oh, actually, you know what? Gold silver ratio briefly. Yeah, you see, it's picking up. It actually did get down to 52. It doesn't show on this chart, but we're having a little bit of gold is faring better than silver. And again, we're not anywhere near historically important levels, which is 32, 32, 32. Midterm, I got to see this ratio being hit. So, should we end on? I don't know. But yeah, that's a problem. Hang on. Hmm. I mean, really, what do you think? I mean, think about all the hysteria lunatics out there, the pumpers, the shills, whatever you want to call them. I mean, it really comes down to this. We maxed out, and now we're kind of stair stepping down, right? And you think, what's this? We're gonna. If I had to guess, I think we're gonna break a lower low next week. I think we're gonna be under 65s. Again, this is for SLV, not commodity silver. And look, if we drop just $4, $4 and a bit, we'll take out that low. And you think, well, what down? 60, that's $9 down. And there will be bounces along the way, right? We saw, you know, four net, roughly 4 net days higher. Here we had 2, and now we're breaking down again. I still think, for the record, I still think we're going to see gold 6,000, if not 8. Well, not 8, but probably 7. 8's possible later this year. Silver 150, maybe even 200. Still looks absolutely viable. But short term, man, this is not great. Look at this. Show me some high highs and higher lows. We don't have that. We have lower lows, lower highs. So the next thing in theory, we take out that low. So yeah, on a bearish note, I'm gonna leave it there. Um, in theory, Tuesday should be red.